What is up, Hustleites? Oh my god, I'm on PW Hustle 2. PW Hustle 2, my goodness. Before I even address anything, shout outs to the dirtiest of the city, A-Track Dastardly, A-Track Brown, A-Track Janetti. Telling the story of why PW Hustle 1 was shut down. You gotta blame, can you blame the masked man for being honest? Could you blame, Billy Ray Valentine for being honest about New Japan and what they were doing? It's not our fault that we, told you how stupid it was for Evil to be the champion. We told you how stupid that New Japan's booking was. And yet New Japan comes back and gives us the copyright strikes. So now the All Elite Perspectives has got to move over to the new flagship channel, PW Hustle 2. That's neither here nor there. We move on, we get stronger. We still got the Bryces. We still got the Genders. We still got the DeMarcos. We still got all the Hustleites. We still got the Sam Khans. We got them all. And thank you for supporting the PW Hustle, whether it's on the Facebook fan page or on the YouTube networks. PW Hustle 2. Maybe the professor will create, I gotta talk with my brothers in arms. We gotta create another channel. And I have since I'm in the laboratories, I think the next backup channel should be called the PW Hustle Extreme. And I'm gonna spell extreme with an X. And of course, the E's are going to turn into the 3's. PW Hustle Extreme. What do y'all think? Leave those comments on the bottom right now. Like the page, subscribe to the page, and tell other hustleites to join in on the fun. Now we get that out the way. Let me do what I do best. The All Elite Perspectives. I guess the debut All Elite Perspectives here on PW Hustle 2. And you know what? It never ceases to amaze the professor. It never ceases to amaze me, in the span of 48 hours, how the mind, how the optics of the IWC, YWC, shifts its gears on certain subjects. When you see on Monday Night Raw, the promo of Retribution, I'm not here to shill and say how Retribution is great. But I can say unequivocally that Retribution is way better than Dark Order. And that's not even saying anything. The presentation of Retribution right now is still way better than the Dark Order. But I want you to keep in mind of that optics. I want you to keep in mind of, the optics arguments that the professor keeps telling you. Retribution, that those are those NXT people. They're already on the main roster. And already they are ruined. After that one promo, after their one interaction with the Hurt Business, after everything. Mind you that. And now we come to AEW Dynamite. Now this one is very tricky because people will take a side on this. But you remember what I told you about Retribution? We got the debut, the in-ring debut of Miro, a.k.a. Rusev. Now, before PW Hustle 1 was shut down, when Miro was on AEW Dynamite, I said that his presentation and to be, incorporated with a C-list jobber like Kip Sabian in a way angle that is so redundant already knocked points off of Miro. See, I already said that. But yet the consensus, the half and halfers, and I'm talking about the other half, was like, let it play out, Professor. This is not, this is okay. How is it okay for Miro to be presented in such a light that is so embarrassing for him, but yet you will still go around with the Retribution arguments? You can't have it both ways. So now, Miro, the best man, in-ring debut is teaming up with the C-list jobber Kip Sabian to go against Jelly Nutella and Sunny Kiss. Now, I don't know if they're going to call themselves the new Midnight Express, whether that's a copyright, whether it was trolling, who the hell cares? But all I want to talk about is Miro, the man that's coming in, the man who said the same promo like a lot of ex-WWE retreads. The brass ring, a fresh start. This is okay. Miro is supposed to get this fresh start. Miro is supposed to be presented. We remember Miro. We remember Rusev as the Bulgarian Brute. He's supposed to be this monster. But yet, AEW has ruined him again. And it's funny to me how, for all the people with the WWE argument optics, you're very quick to point out 50-50 booking. But what AEW does constantly and religiously and weekly not only is 15-minute matches, but 50-50 wrestling. Now here's the quandary. I'm not knocking Jelly Nutella and Sunny Kiss, but we know who the A-list player is in this conglomerate match. It's Miro. We all are looking at Miro. We're looking at what he's supposed to do. Dominate. And he didn't do that. Yes, they won. Yes, Miro won with his Machka Lock. I don't know what he's calling it right now, but it was the Machka Lock. But, people will say, what do you want, Professor? Do you want Miro to, attack Jon Moxley and go after the AEW title? And then fall into the prey of, Brian Cage? Fall into the prey of Lance Archer when he was, he debuted and then go after Cody Rhodes? No, you don't have to do that. But yet, you build on the monster. You build on the Bulgarian Brute. But yet, if he's having trouble with Jelly Nutella and Sunny Kiss, then he's even lower than a mid-carder. Lower than a mid-carder. Let me tell you that. You can't have the argument both ways. It's like the Ricochet argument in the WWE side. You overanalyze Ricochet day one since he came from the main roster. But it finally played itself out. Now Miro has got the same problems. Here's another problem for Miro right now. Since the wedding promo, since the brass ring promo, and now since the match itself, what does Miro represent on TV? Is he a heel or a face? Is it Miro Day to be comical for the fans in Daly's place to cheer? What do you want Miro to be? We know what Kip Sabian is. But we don't know what Miro is. Is he going to cheat to win? Is he going to be a ruthless Bulgarian Brute that, beats people down? Or is he going to be comical because he talks and he has a promo thing? You don't even know what Miro is. You don't even know what Miro is trying to, bring out on TV. Hence another problem for the AEW Mark-Tarts out there. You can't identify Miro. I can't even identify Miro. So while he's not getting that AEW championship match, which is good, what is he going to do? He can fight Ricky Starks. We don't know. He's a tweener. This is the problem again with AEW. They go into the flow of the moment of the match. And Miro, being what he is, can be the monster, can be the Bulgarian Brute. But they don't want to do that. And Miro, in-ring debut, that's how bad it was. Tony Khan's got to do a better job presenting Miro. And if that's the in-ring debut for him, I have very little confidence in what Miro can do for the next 6 months. Because all he is an also-ran, and all he will do is just have good matches. We just don't know what he's going to be. We have no identifiable purpose for Miro. So that was problem number one for AEW Dynamite. Because you already know, if you don't know on the PW Hustle 2, only myself and Jim Cornette give you the real of the All Elite perspectives. Here's problem number two with AEW Dynamite. And I told you this on PW Hustle 1. Orange Cassidy gets a shot at the TNT Championship against Brody Lee. You know, Orange Cassidy. Now, you can say, Professor, what's wrong with that? You know, he got the biggest win in his professional career, beating the former AEW heavyweight champion in Chris Jericho. Doesn't it entail him to get a TNT title shot? Yes, I have no problem with that. I kept telling you people that Jericho carried Orange Cassidy. Jericho is the one that made Orange Cassidy. And I said the problem would be, what does Orange Cassidy do with that momentum? Orange Cassidy will have to carry other people, like the Kip Sabians, like the Jelly Nutellas, like the Sunny Kisses, like even Proud and Powerful, like the people that are not ready for TV. So now, remember this. You got a man who had the biggest win of his career going up against the man who decimated Cody Rhodes to get back steam in his short-lived AEW career in Brody Lee. You see the paradox? Do you see the problem here? You got one guy on the uptick. And of course, you can say, Professor, don't worry. Orange Cassidy is untouchable because people dress like Orange Cassidy. People got the sunglasses. People are doing this. Again, you pick your optics. If you're willing to forgive that, then why are you so strong about people in the WWE? This is what I keep saying. It's funny how you're so quick to do that for WWE wrestlers, for anybody coming up from the NXT thing. But yet, I can give you the same problem and I can give you the same analysis for something AEW, and you say, chill, Professor, chill. Tranquilo. No, I'm not going to tranquilo it. I'm just giving you what is right in front of you. So now, your man, Orange Cassidy, after the biggest win, gets his title shot. You know, you got people chanting freshly squeezed, trying to give that underdog thing. You know, they booked it as the underdog going against the powerhouse Brody Lee. And Brody Lee did what he was supposed to do. Decimate him. And Orange Cassidy got it. But again, AEW and Tony Khan just doesn't know how to book shit. Because Orange Cassidy, in one fell swoop, not only got the loss, but was an afterthought for something that they're going to build on for somebody else. And guess who came back? As my man George Bryce would say, Triple C, Cody Rhodes comes back. Looking like Lucifer from Fox TV. Looking like, Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3. But wait, before I even get to Cody Rhodes and the afterthought that Orange Cassidy became in this match, let me say one thing about the match itself. We remember that Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends are a trio, right? You do remember this. How the hell do you cherry pick which week that your partners in crime, your family members, you could say, your brothers in arms, when do you cherry pick the spot? Because you had 5 members of the Dark Order against Orange Cassidy. So he was climbing this mountain. But yet, you don't want the Best Friends to be interacting there. Yes, and I'll get to that in a second. But you've already put that paradox out there. You already put that outlining there, that they are together. If Orange Cassidy helps the Best Friends against Proud and Powerful the week before, how the hell does Best Friends not help Orange Cassidy try to get his first taste of AEW gold in the TNT Championship and try to make it as an even-keeled match between himself and Brody Lee? You cherry-pick stupidity? AEW Martyrs? Are you cherry-picking stupidity? I'm just pointing out the obvious here. But yet, again, like I keep saying, AEW does this so many times. So you put all that momentum for Orange Cassidy out the way. Everything that was built for Orange Cassidy plummeted like the stock market. Because that's the priority. He plummeted down so they can rekindle that Cody Rhodes versus Brody Lee heat. So this way you build on maybe the 1 year anniversary show for a future TNT title shot. Or the rematch. I got no problem with storyline continuity. But I'm just pointing out what you did with my man Orange Cassidy. My man Freshly Squeezed. Don't put him in that situation. You build the momentum for something else. Do you want Orange Cassidy to... He could have fought somebody in the inner circle like Sammy Guevara. He could fight, somebody within the Dark Order like Evil Uno. He could fight somebody within the Dark Order that had nothing to do with Brody Lee. You build. Orange Cassidy didn't need the TNT title. But Orange Cassidy needed to be represented a little bit better. And speaking of best friends, and speaking of which, the only thing I could say, two good things that came out of AEW Dynamite. FTR has a big job on its hands. They got the tag team, division on its shoulders. They are carrying the tag team division because you know what? I kept telling you that they're the ones. They're going to be the ones that bring balance to this shitty tag team division. It ain't the Young Bucks, because supposedly the Young Bucks are so mad and frustrated that they don't know what to do anymore. That this heel Young Bucks that is not even believable with that bullshit promo with Tony Schiavone is really an afterthought for the professor. But anyway, FTR is being the tag team champions. And not only being the tag team champions, not only being the heel tag team champions that they're supposed to be. Bringing back elements of old school booking is so great. How do you get these people over like the Jurassic Express and now the Best Friends? You do those little time limit matches. So they get the 20. Now, old school was 10 minutes. But now with AEW matches being an average of 15 minutes on TV, they're going to do the 20-minute thing. If Best Friends can hang with FTR next week for 20 minutes, they will be guaranteed a title shot. So the question is, you look at the top 5, the Young Bucks, they're still trying to find a way not to touch the Revival. And I keep saying that they're going to touch each other by Full Gear. You can't hold it until Revolution. That's a little bit too long a ways. But you can't hold it till Full Gear. So they're trying to find these ways of not, interacting with each other. And that's fine and dandy, because like I said, FTR can have matches with these tag teams and actually have, good matches with these tag teams and teach them how to slow down. It's a daunting task, but I think FTR can do it. And the only other thing that was good was and I keep saying, again, you're new to the PW Hustle 2 with the All Elite Perspectives. So I said this on PW Hustle 1. AEW only books and writes storylines for about 6 people. Some are the Inner Circle, some are the Elite, and MJF. So if there's any interaction between MJF and Chris Jericho, it's going to be gold. Both of them can hang with each other. Is that what's going to happen by Full Gear? We don't know. It's very interesting. But of course, the promos between MJF and Chris Jericho are money. They are engaging. And if you got the million viewer man against another close to million viewer man, that's 2 million views on TV. So that is gold for AEW. That is gold for the Marktards. That is gold for the ratings. And that is gold for the demos. I got no problem with that. That's the only 2 good things that came out of AEW. And people will say, Professor, what about the main event? Don't you like the main event? Well, you know what? The one thing I will say is this. We are in, weird times with the pandemic. We are in weird times with COVID-19. So I give props to AEW and Tony Khan for, changing things at the 11th hour because it was not in their control. Lance Archer tested positive for COVID-19. So they had a backup storyline plan and gave Eddie Kingston the shot because he never got eliminated in the Casino Battle Royal. So, I had no problem with that. But you know what? I'm going to have to be vain here. And as much as I don't want to be the IWC, YWC guy saying, well, Eddie Kingston can talk. Eddie Kingston, paid his dues. Eddie Kingston, is an indie man. But he's not that primetime dude. So for me, it was an afterthought of him even sniffing the AEW championship. It was just another notch in the belt for Jon Moxley. So you can have a good match with Eddie Kingston. That's fine and dandy, but when it's too predictable, I can't get behind that. I can't. And this is business now. Now I'm thinking business. Now I'm thinking marketing. Eddie Kingston's just not that dude. It ain't gonna happen. And then you end it with, all of Eddie Kingston's, the Lucha Bros coming in. Then you got Will Hobbs, Poor Will Hobbs, man. You gotta feel for Will Hobbs because of the Lance Archer thing. Because I think Will Hobbs, they wanted to showcase Will Hobbs' talents. And you couldn't do that. So, what could have Tony Khan did? What could he have done? Could you have made a Will Hobbs versus Brian Cage match? I'm sure you could have. Hopefully they do that next week. Because Will Hobbs, if you wanted me to be invested in Will Hobbs, then being there for 30 seconds to get beat up by the Lucha Bros and Eddie Kingston and Darby Allin is not a good presentation. So hopefully Tony Khan, makes up for that mistake or that era and does a Will Hobbs versus, Pentagon or maybe Phoenix match for next week. But again, it was a predictable thing. And you know what? What will we say about the ratings now? I don't have to say anything about the ratings because, when you have a go-home show before a pay-per-view and the Fallout show, the ratings are on the uptick. But now we're back to where it is. We're back to what's happening when you have NXT and AEW in the Wednesday night fold. And I'll keep saying this, and I'll say this every week. 1.4 to 1.7. Look at those numbers. Look at how consistent those numbers are. So if AEW gets 880,000 and NXT gets 700,000, it's in the range. And I find the Wednesday Night Wars and the Mark Tarts are clamoring for NXT to move to Tuesday nights and AEW to win this war. How stupid is that sounding for people? How stupid do the Mark Tarts sound for telling people? And how stupid are wrestlers saying that NXT should move to Tuesdays? Do you realize that attitude and social media? You remember the other war, right? You remember that Nitro had an 83-week win in the ratings battle against Monday Night Raw. How dare you tell NXT what to do? I know that things are different, but if we had that same attitude, then Raw should have moved to Tuesdays and Nitro should have just been Monday Night Nitro, right? You can't have these arguments both ways. You can't cherry pick. This is the range you got. Accept it. The only way we will consider this a ratings ass whipping is this is how it goes. If AEW gets 1.2 million and NXT gets 400,000 or even 500,000, that is an ass whipping. But getting 800 to 900,000 to the 700,000 and 750 is not an ass whipping, it's the range. Because for someone like Moi the Professor, I'm the floater viewer. I don't watch one and DVR the next one. I flip. So my ratings give you both. I will watch NXT if something is good, and I'll watch AEW if something piques my interest. So let me give you that example, that I'm the floater viewer right now. And there are 250,000 floater viewers like the Professor doing what they're doing on a Wednesday night. It's reality, Hustleites, and it's an ugly one. But for the debut of the All Elite Perspectives here on PWSL 2, I thank you for tuning in, and get ready for the party that is the All Elite Perspectives. Follow me on my Twitter at PROFPWSL, aka Professor PWSL. And who knows, maybe we will have that backup channel, the PW Hustle Extreme. But I gotta talk to my boys, Billy Ray, the Masked Man, and A-Track Brown. But for now, it's the Professor saying peace. See you next time.